Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rohakadash. Praises to the hopefully elect. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Also to the bishops of Great Millstones, the Rahashams and Shars, who are in the struggle and trying to get this word out and trying to make it peaceful. But sometimes it's not as peaceful as we go along, but that's the goal. The name of this topic is called A Bean Counter's Perspective Concerning Tithings and Alms. Now, in the Christian church, I basically was the trustee, and I saw basically all the dimes and nickels and pennies that came into the church, because basically it's a church in the hood. Now, that is the second service, but the first service, checks, cash orders, PayPal, all the other modern convenience to get the money out. And one of the few things that I remember being in church was that I heard scriptures just before you gave. And these scriptures I didn't hear all the time, but I remembered some of them. Now, there are times where we had little problems in trying to get the money out from people, because, when you deal with carnal heathens, they're the last ones to give you anything, or they give you just a little bit, just to satisfy the requirement. But there was a time where somebody came in the Baptist church with a 3-foot tower of all pennies. She brought them up to the front, in front of the pastor, or should say near the altar, or where the pastor was sitting. And the thing teetered over. All the pennies went everywhere. And one of the things that he said, let me get that. Be a cheerful giver. I want dollars, not pennies. And he was hopping mad like you wouldn't believe. I never saw that out of him, because usually we'll take what you got. But it was his decision at that time was that he got upset to tell everybody, the church, that he basically cussed the little girl out. Be a cheerful giver, and he said it loud enough so that he was very adamant about it. And the precept I have for that is this. In all thy gifts, shew a cheerful countenance, and dedicate tithe with gladness. Now she could have went to a coin store and put that money in and gave a certificate and a cash money order or some other form other than about 400 pennies that we all had to go around and scrape up all over their carpet. That was uncalled for. So she wasn't uncheerful. I mean, she gave, but it had malcontent towards it. So the money is poison to us, because you didn't give from your heart. You gave from an evil place. And one of the things that I'd like to touch on, this is something that I've always heard for quite a long time. This is Matthew 6:1. Take heed that ye should not do not alms before men, as seen of them. Otherwise, you have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. Now, that is a thing that I've seen over the church was that they trying to impress the brethren of that church. Like I gave a certain amount of money and they should have a seating for me and they should treat me with much more respect. If they don't do this for me, I'm gonna pull my money out and go to another church where so my money and me can be respected. I've heard that quite a bit. They say, yeah. Just you know what we say. Uh, God is not cheap with you, so don't be cheap with him. He gave you all those blessings. He gave you the money. It's really not yours, but you're supposed to show uh, a concern, effort to keep your mouth shut and just give. Just move along and give like everybody else. But he wants to be flashy and show everything off. Okay, verse 2. Therefore, thou doest know thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and the streets, that they may have glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. You're boasting. You're actually boasting that you gave something towards a church that needs the money. Whether it's a church that's making ugabs of money or a church that's just making by. But you don't supposed to stand out in front of the brotherhood of that church and tell everybody, put your hands on your suspenders and say, yeah, this is this is what I contribute. See these envelopes? And that's the thing about this church. This church always gave out envelopes, so make sure that you can cover your tithes so no one knows what you're giving. That's the purpose of the envelope in the church, was that you hide your money inside the church, inside the church envelope, so that you cannot display this vainglorious attitude. Verse 3, when thou doest alms, do not let thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth. Now that's plain and simple. You ain't got to tell everybody. You don't. Stop harassing, at that time, harassing the trustees who are doing all this counting of money. And they want to make sure that their money is counted. They come into the office and make sure that everything is doing all right. That thy alms may be done in secret, and thy Father which seeth secret himself shall reward thee openly. Now, I never saw this particular man who boasts about giving money to the church until it hurt. Yeah, he was doing okay, but he had failing health, and I'm quite sure that had repented from what he was doing, because that's a command right there. These are commandments that I'm reading. And thou prayest, thou shalt not be a hypocrite, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the street, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. Now the thing is that do you have to be the loudest congregate on in the pulpit? Or I should say, this is something that is a problem that I have seen over the years. And that's what led me get out of the church, because everybody wants to be seen. It's like a club. Everybody's trying to outshout each other of their achievements that they've done for the church. And they will threaten the church if they don't have their way. Malachi 3 and 8. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, where we rob thee in tithes and in offerings. Now, as a trustee of that particular church, I was asked to give 20% of my earnings to support the church. Everybody else in the congregation did 10% because I was an officer of the church of several financial groupings. I was asked to give 20%. But you know how it is. That's what they ask for, but you give what you can afford to do, what you have on it. Like I heard Apostle Gabar said, if you got 2 pennies in your pocket, you can afford to give that other penny to the other person because you're pleasing the Lord, not trying to put on a show by saying how much money that I can give to the congregation or to the church. The pastor has more than enough money. They were paying him at one time $175K back in the day, $175K per year. So he's well off. Plus, he had his wife working there for a while. So the money was coming into them quite a bit. So I know everybody saw it was an injustice, but that's why you made him pastor of the church. You didn't see that coming where he's going to bring on this exorbitant salary and his money-grubbing wife. Well, that's all I have for today, for the epistle. I hope this is edifying to the elect and to the other sheep out there that watch yourself when you give alms and tithe to the brotherhood. You don't have to put on a show like they do in the Baptist church. Everything is a show in the Baptist church. Whereas that we've learned that you do everything in secrecy. Pull the person to the side, or like they did in the church, give them an envelope unmarked, possibly with his name on it, or his name on it, and or box or whatever it is, and he will thank you, because I've seen what alms and tithing can do. I've seen brotherhood come out and watch me when I was in a sling, coming out of 2 hospital trips. He came by, and all the Rashams came by. They basically spent their time, their energy, and gas money to come by and say hello to a brother who's sick, such as I was. And it lifted my spirits up so much was that the medication didn't bother anymore, because I told everybody that that my room was located toward a morgue. So they expected me to die. But I thank you for all your prayers and alms to come by and see the old hoary head guy. I really thank you all for, that's my testimony in terms of what, through the spirit of Yahweh Shai and the Holy Spirit, come through for you when you didn't expect it. I didn't expect everybody to come see me. Even the younger brothers that was in the camp come see me about twice. They came by and did some odds and end work around the house. I didn't expect that. But it was a blessing to me, because I was wallowing in dirty clothes and unkempt house. They made my house more palatable to live. It lifted up my spirit so much was that I got healthier because they came by and expressed concern. You can't get that anywhere else. I've seen in Baptist church where they pick and choose who they want to see. If you have a beef with the pastor or one of the deacons, they ain't gonna come see you. Whereas that in the Brotherhood of Great Millstone, they came out in numbers just to say how you doing, and I just screamed every time I saw one, and they made me laugh, and they made me feel good. That was good medicine that from the Yahweh from Yahweh Shai had gave me. Anyway, that's it for this particular epistle. I hope that this has been edifying for my personal testimony as a bean counter and a person who was very ill and had nobody to turn to. So with that, I would say, call Haloim Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Rohakadash. Honors to the elect, double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. The bishops and our ashams all the way down. The ones that you don't think that's going to come out and pull your ass out of the sling. Shalom.